Good morning or good afternoon, children, as we come to another assembly. Again, we're looking at the theme of truth. Here's a verse from Ephesians 4, which Karen, who helps with these assemblies, will put up on the screen for you. Ephesians 4, verse 15 says this: "Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ." Now, St. Paul wrote this letter to the church in Ephesus, and he wanted to build that church up. I wonder, children, if you just think for a while, what gift have you got that is different from anybody else? When St. Paul wrote this letter in chapter 4, he said this: that God has given apostles, prophets, evangelists, shepherds, and teachers. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, shepherds, and teachers. Now, here's the a shepherd's crook, and this is the sign of being a shepherd, and it's also used by bishops. They'll hold a stick like this to show that they are the chief shepherd over their people. So some people have got the gift of caring. Other people have really got the gift, if I put this scarf on that I got in Bethlehem, they've got the gift of being a prophet and saying, look people, this is the way that we should go. This is what God wants to say to you. Now, other people are like teachers. They build people up by telling them the truth. Well, I haven't got anything that looks like a teacher, but I got this from my kids' box, play box, and it's a JCB builder's hat. And as it were, this symbolises for me a teacher, because a teacher builds up the children that he or she is teaching. Other gifts there were evangelists, people that tell others about Jesus. And apostles, they're people that start new churches. So the Church of Lydia Millicent, All Saints of Lydia Millicent, was started in about the year 1000 and then built in 1280. But since then, loads of other churches have been built or started in Swindon by people that are like an apostle. So I wonder what gift you've got. Maybe you've got the gift of encouraging other children. Maybe you've got a gift of putting your hand up in class because you're brilliant at maths. Or maybe you've got a gift at being very good at sport. Whatever it may be, or drama, or drawing, or art, whatever it may be. And Paul says we are to speak the truth to each other. When our children were really little, they did little drawings that really would not sell for £1,000 at the Tate Gallery. But when I looked at their drawings, I didn't go, oh, that's a terrible drawing. As a good dad, and Tricia Roberts as a good mum would say, that's a great drawing, thank you so much. So we're to speak the truth to each other. Let's go to our prayers now, and then we've got a song at the end. So I'll see you next time, but maybe think about one truth that you could say to someone else this week. Paul wanted to build up a church. You might want to build up a class that is around you, or at home you might want to build up your little brother and sister, or your big brother and sister, or those that look after you. So let's pray as we come to the end of this assembly. So we've done the assembly about truth. We want to feed that into our assembly now. You might want to get your hands ready so that you can do some of the actions on this assembly with me. Like a tree that grows tall and stately, Father God, help us to grow closer to you. Like a field of crops growing thick and golden, Father God, help us to grow closer to you. Now just behind me here I've got some flowers that Mrs. Roberts planted, and they're growing. Like a flower, growing towards the sun, help me to grow closer to you. And help me, God, to be truthful in everything I say, everything I hear, and everything I see. Amen. See you next week. Bye.
From him you came, helpless babe, entered our world, your glory veiled, not to be served but to serve, and give your life that we might live. This is our God, the servant's King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant's King. There in the garden of tears, my heavy load he chose to bear. His heart with sorrow was torn, yet not my will but yours, he said. This is our God, the servant's King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant King. Come see his hands and his feet, the scars that speak of sacrifice, hands that flaunt stars into space, to cruel nails surrender. This is our God, the servant's King. He calls us now to follow him, to bring our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant